High beats. High beats. High beats. High beats.
Hello everybody and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Milo Giggles and this is my brother Joey Shits.
And together we make shits and giggles. What you saying today, my brother?
Man, today is a very funny day. I don't know why, but man, I have a good feeling about the day.
It is, right? Well, I mean, if there were such things, you see these bloopers on TV ads and things like that. We should have some blooper. We should make some blooper reels because there were some bloopers.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And not just a few. I think we have more bloopers than actual videos.
Man, it makes me wonder how these actors and actresses, well, I don't think they like to call themselves actresses anymore. They're all called actors, aren't they? Even the females now. So it makes me wonder.
They're actors. Yeah,
they're all actors, right? Because the females didn't like the S's at the end. So it makes me wonder how all these actors do it sometimes, you know? Because people out there just wondering, when you're making a podcast, you're not just turning on the camera and then all of a sudden going, no. You got cut one, cut two, cut three. So we just had a couple of those.
You gotta cut 10 to have one good one.
It does happen. It does happen. What are we talking about tonight, my brother?
Well, I would like to talk about historical context, like origins of different objects in our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start, for example, with the fork, right? I mean, we all use it, we all have it.
The eating utensil.
The eating utensil, exactly.
Okay.
The fork now is a basic dining utensil, right? Was once controversial in Europe, introduced from the Byzantine in the 11th century. Fork where was, hey,
could you say Byzantine? Could you say Byzantine again? Just
Byzantine.
Yes. Okay. You got this. You got this.
I got this. It's just so many words.
Oh, yeah, it's memory. It's working off of memory.
Man, the thing is that those words that I don't use them every day, they're a little bit hard to pronounce for me.
Well, I understand.
Now, the fork.
The fork.
The fork.
We digress.
We digress a little bit. Let's go back to the fork.
So you got to us that we're at the 11th century.
Yes. In the 11th century, forks were considered unnatural and even sinful by many.
Sinful, like it's a sin. You had to go to the Catholic Church and ask for forgiveness for using a fork before the 11th century.
Yes, because back in the day, eating with your hands was considered the proper way to eat, not using utensils and stuff like that.
Well,
you know?
well, if the fork wasn't used by then, right? If you didn't have the fork by then, I'm not saying that now hear me out. The fingers weren't the proper way to eat. They were the only way to eat. The fork wasn't invented.
Well, if it's the only way, it's the proper way.
It's a little bit of a difference, man. It's a little bit. Okay. I'm sorry for interrupting you. It was the proper way. God, tell me more.
Yeah. Well, for them it was the proper ways, and they wanted to stick with it. While the Italians, the nobles, began using the forks in the 14th century. But it wasn't until the 16th century and the 17th century that they gained wider acceptance. Particularly in France, they spread slowly because many saw them as
equality and brotherhood.
Exactly. Don't forget about the brotherhood.
I'm sorry.
They spread slowly because many saw them as decent. And
the decadence of unnecessariness.
Unnecessary, not different.
Yes. Let me help you out. Yes, let me help you. The decadence of unnecessary, I believe. Right? I'm not even sure what decadence means. Man, I'm gonna have to Google that stuff.
I would have said just unnecessary. I think it's more than enough to explain that. Unnecessary. You don't have to throw another into it.
Well, the decadence, I think, means like the luxurious, like the unnecessary. It was unnecessarily, luxurious. They didn't. I know what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure I'm actually saying it. Man, me personally, I'm happy for the fork.
Oh yeah, me
Because
too.
because when I eat with my fingers, I tend to bite the tip of my finger off. I mean, I tend to catch. Have you ever bitten your tongue or the side
Oh
of your
yeah.
cheek?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah.
really hurts when you get your finger. Have you ever bitten your finger in a sandwich?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Blah,
Not just
Imagine trying.
once.
Not just once, right? Well, you didn't catch two or three fingers. I hope not at once. That's a little bit of a piggish move right there.
A what? A piggish?
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, man. So before the 11th in the Byzantine 11th century, huh? They
Yeah,
were considered bad. So and before
yeah.
that,
Not
and it
just
didn't
bad,
start
sinful.
sinful. So they didn't really start using it until the 14th century. So what happened from the 12th and the 13th century?
But they
Bef-
just use their fingers, my brother.
but before the 11th, it was the proper way, right? Before the 11th century, it was the proper way.
Yes,
Yes, at the
with the
14th
fingers.
century,
With the fingers was the
with the
proper
fingers,
way.
right?
Yes.
But on the 14th century, by the 14th century, the fork was being widely used. So on the 12th and the 13th century, so if you were some guy that went over to somebody's house in the 13th century and he had a fork, that guy was rich probably, right?
It's either
He would be
rich
considered
or maybe he was considered a witch and
decadent.
burnt.
He would be considered decadent. Or yeah, it could have been. Man, well, I'll tell you what. If you had your choice between the fork and the toilet paper, which one would you prefer with
Well,
the knowledge and the history of?
man, I would rather eat
They
with
both
my fingers
you'd rather eat what than have toilet paper
and have toilet paper, yes.
and have toilet. Well, man, I'd rather eat and have toilet paper or not eat and not have toilet paper. Either way, they work hand in hand. Either way, they're both daily uses, the fork or the toilet paper, right? So,
Yes.
man, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the toilet paper. And before the 19th century, that means that, like, just 1850, before 1850, it didn't even exist, man. It didn't even exist, toilet paper. They would use things like leaves, moss, or even old catalogs and stuff, for their, but
Catalogs.
catalog, like book pages and stuff, you know what I mean? They would use that,
Yeah.
but they'd also use corn cobs. Now I'm just saying, they didn't say corn husks. They said corn cobs. This is what they used. Corn cob is a long thing, kind of like a cucumber. It's the cob. The corn comes on the cob. Tell
Yeah.
me how you wiped your ass with that, and tell me how you did a vaginal cleansing with that. I don't think you could.
think
Man,
you
I don't
could,
think
man.
it's the cleaning there. I think they confused the corn cob. I think they confused it. I'm just
But
trying to tell you.
if I remember correctly, I think the Romans actually used a piece of cloth on top of a stick and they used to keep it in the middle of the toilet room, in the middle of the bathroom, right? And they had like 5, 6, 7 toilets in the same room, and they would just wipe with that stick, with that fabric, and then put it back in a bucket with, I think it was vinegar. And then the next guy takes it and wipes. What?
Actually, I'm just saying, man.
Man.
On a side note, that made me wonder. We did a show recently talking about the different scents. A scent smeller. One of the odd
Yes.
jobs was the guy who does the smelling of scents, and we were talking about toilet paper. Why is there a need? If you're talking about vinegar on a stick, I mean, this is
Yeah.
how they used to wipe their asses. Vinegar on
Yeah.
a stick. Why do we got to worry about peaches, apples, and oranges on our toilet paper today? I mean, who's
It's
that for, actually?
it's not about it's about standing out. The
Standing out,
companies. The
standing out with
companies.
the really, really, really,
Yeah,
really.
it's about making a sale. You're
I
not
mean,
gonna
do you
buy
ever
the
s-
cheap one. You want the perfumed one. You want to feel the peaches in your bathroom.
Have you ever walked by anybody before and said, they use peach toilet paper? Have you ever in your life done that? Have you ever gone to one of your bros and say, hey, what you got? What you sporting at
What-
your house?
what you
got
using,
some
huh?
coconut smelling toilet paper? Can I borrow some? Yeah, have you ever done? I have not.
No.
Man, but this guy, Joseph Gaetti, he sold the first packaged toilet paper in the United States. It was like 1857 that he did this. But it wasn't perforated, where they had the holes and stuff like that. It wasn't perforated. It was rolled until that didn't happen until like the 1890s. Until then, it was just a solid piece of paper. You still have that here in Romania, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
You still
yeah,
have
they
that
still
toilet
make
paper
it,
that's
that,
just
that red one.
yeah, that red one, and it feels like cardboard scraping your anal hole. It's like,
Well,
bleh. It's
It's basically
horrible.
cardboard.
Man, I would rather take a piece of that, fold it over 4 times, cut a hole in it, and put my finger up through it, and just wipe. It would be, that's just, it'd be better. It would be better, man. Yeah, but they designed the roll in the 1890s, and it became the standard product for making the hygienic and convenience of people using it. And it spread really quickly. I can imagine
I
it
can
spread really
imagine
quickly.
man, jumping from a stick with a piece of fabric on it and vinegar to toilet paper. I would do it immediately.
Man, that guy had a good job, that toilet paper selling guy. That he imagine being a toilet paper salesman back in those days. Everybody was saying, I want it, I
I
want it,
want, and not just one. I want a dozen of them.
I want a dozen. Yeah, man. So it wasn't until the early 20th century, till the early 1900s. Can you believe it? I mean, that's recent. That's recent stuff. It wasn't until the early 1900s that the toilet paper really became a household essential, and it is essential. I have
is
never walked.
essential.
I have walked into people's house. They didn't have toilet paper, but it wasn't on purpose. It was that somebody used the last roll, the last piece, and didn't tell nobody else, and you're stuck in the bathroom. Have you ever visited someone's house and never had toilet paper when you were done? Have you ever visited somebody and not have toilet paper, and you had to
Yes,
call them
yes,
and
it
say,
did
"Hey"?
happen, yes.
It did really.
Yeah,
How did
but
you
I,
handle
but I
that?
do search around.
Yeah, within reach.
Yeah, within reach.
And when you can't find it within reach, what do you do then?
Well,
Hey, Johnny, come over here. Put your head in here. And he's like, no, I don't want to put my head in there. What do you?
depends on if it's a good friend of mine. I would
Yeah.
probably yell, "Yo, come on! I gotta tell you something." If I'm at somebody's that I don't really know, I will text somebody that I know inside the group. Man, bring
would
some
text them.
toilet paper. I don't care how you bring it, from where you take it. I need it.
So now the telephone has become an essential in the toilet just
yeah,
in
yeah.
case.
Oh,
It's an
yes.
essential.
Oh, yes.
See how
In
one
case
thing
of
leads to another?
emergency, you must have a phone so you can call somebody for help.
No, yeah, that's the history of the toilet paper. So far
Man.
we got the fork and we got the toilet paper, man.
Man,
Two very
let me tell you something. You know the
right.
pencil, every time when you think about a pencil, it's always that image of a yellow pencil that pops into mind.
yeah,
Well, it wasn't always yellow.
really.
No, it was
I
not.
always remember it yellow.
Yes, because in the 1890s, American manufacturers began printing pencils yellow to indicate high quality graphite imported from China. That's how it started. I think you're on mute again. What? Well, I can't hear anything.
I
Man.
am here. I am here.
Now I hear you.
Yeah, I am here.
Something happened. I don't know. I don't.
It says my connection is unstable. Of all things, it's unstable. Man, so basically what you're trying to tell me is that if you had a red pencil after 1890s, you had the shit pencil.
Yes.
You had a shitty
yes,
pencil.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because yellow was it represented like prestige and respect for them.
Boy,
And
amazing how
even in Chinese culture, yellow represents prestige and respect. It's a signal the premium nature of the product,
I understand.
signaling the premium nature of the product. That's how they stuck with the yellow color on the pencil. Even if they're shit now, they're not. All of them are yellow, but none of them are good.
Man, what a decline yellow has done, because now people, when they make fun of you, you belong on the little yellow bus. You know,
Well,
yellow.
I like
yellow
the
was a
yellow
sign of-
bus.
it used to be
means
a sign of prestige. Well, I'm going to remember that next time somebody says, "Hey, did you ride the little yellow bus?"
Yes,
Ah,
I did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Yes,
did.
I did.
It was better than sharing with 52 others, man. I shared with 12. It was like a personalized limousine. So yellow, yeah, it does. So, whew, man, I don't know how I got off on that. And yeah, so I guess globally it just became a known thing globally with the yellow pencil. It's the
Yeah,
same way in
yeah.
Europe. I didn't even notice. Is
Yeah,
it?
it's the same way. It's the
Really
same
with
way.
the yellow pencils?
The predominant color on the pencils, it's still yellow.
Well, I know in our schools, I don't know if you have it here in Romania. In the American schools, it was teachers wouldn't ask if you had a yellow, red. It didn't matter the color of the pencil, but they
was
would
a
say,
B.
They'd say, do you have a number 2 pencil? You had to have
Number
a
two.
number 2. Yeah, the pencils were numbered, and if you had a 2, that was the good graphite. So at some point that switched over. At some point somebody changed that and said, you know what? We need to add more color to our good shit. We can't just stick with yellow. We need something else. I think that was because of the little yellow bus. I think that's what happened. I think the pencil maker said, no, we can't have this. I'm just my thought now that I'm thinking about it. I didn't know. Man, yellow pencils are very important, but you know what else is important?
What?
Handshakes.
Handshake.
Handshakes, man. I'm the kind of guy when I go shake somebody's hand. Have you ever had somebody give you that limp noodle hand? You go to shake it, and they give you like 3 or 4 fingers, and you go, and you're like, oh, it was like I don't know, touching tuna fish. It was
not even maybe jellyfish.
like a jellyfish, but that just goes right through me. So for me, a manly handshake, even when I shake a woman's hand, I give it a nice firm grip, not quite as hard as a man's grip, but I make sure she knows I was there. You know, kind of like a non-sexual sex thing. No, I was there. There you go. She gonna remember the handshake. I'm just saying. Same with a guy. Gonna walk away remembering they just shook a hand. They're gonna walk away. They're gonna turn. They're gonna take 3 or 4 steps, and they're gonna say, "That was a good handshake," or "Fucker just broke my knuckles." One of the two they're gonna say. Handshakes are very important, and the handshake originated in ancient Greece. Man, it did, and it was a gesture of peace, actually, and it was demonstrating that neither person carried a weapon. So when you put your hand out with an open hand to shake it, it was showing I don't have a weapon in my hand, so forth, so on. And over the centuries, it evolved into a symbol of trust and agreement, you know, and it was a greeting that became across all cultures. The variations do exist worldwide, though. They do exist worldwide. Variations like some might, well. I don't know how they really vary. A handshake is a handshake, you know, unless you're doing like that nanu mork shit from fucking or the fucking Spockian thing or something. I don't know how a handshake can vary, but apparently it does vary because I'm being told it varies. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to say, but the essence remains the same, and it's simple gesture. It just indicates goodwill. The handshake. So the next time you go to shake somebody's hand, remember, keep it firm. Keep the eye contact. Keep it all good and nice, and you know
Man,
that's an important thing.
That's a good way to do it.
Right?
That's a good way to do it.
Do you make eye contact, or do you look down at the hand to make sure there's no boobas or anything gross you're touching? But I often wonder if I have a cut on my hand where I'm going to shake a hand, I got to make sure it's bandaged because I don't want nobody to grab me. But it's not because I'm worried about it. I don't want them to look at my booba and go, I don't want to shake your hand. I don't.
How about the fist bump?
Yeah, I love the fist bump. That was the best thing that came out of COVID right there was the fist bump. Poof, I love that. And you can get away. I live in a neighborhood where a lot of undesirables live. And they constantly come up to me, Marco, and trying to shake my hand. I'm like, hey, I don't remember your name, but hey, bump. I don't, bump. Give me the bump. It's okay. It works for me.
No.
I didn't.
Marco
is my nickname over here.
Marco.
Marco. Yeah, that's my nickname.
Well, actually, in Germany during the COVID pandemic, they actually jumped over the fist bump and they went to the elbow bump.
Did they really?
Yeah. I was like, when they were coming with the elbow, I was like, what the hell are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, no, that's too much, man. That's too much. If they came to me with the elbow, I'd think they'd wanted to fight. I'd be like, look at this guy squaring up on me, man. He's just squaring up on me. No.
Well,
no.
I want to stick with the yellow a little bit and talk about the yellow school buses.
Okay, why not? We were just talking about school buses.
Yes.
We're just talking about the little yellow school bus.
Yeah, exactly. About the yellow school bus. Yes.
Okay.
In the 1930s.
That was completely coincidental, I got to tell you.
But since you brought it up, let me tell you something about the yellow school buses.
Okay.
In the 1930s, the manufacturers started making the school buses, all of them, yellow for safety reasons. The human eye notices yellow more quickly than any other color, even in fog or low light, making buses highly visible. Can you imagine that?
Man, I didn't, but it does make sense. It does
makes
make sense.
It makes sense. I mean, it's a big thing. You want to see it.
Man,
You don't want to be hit by a bus.
yes, but it's so big. How could you really miss it? I mean, unless it was colored black. How could you
Well,
really
they
miss
could have
it?
been gray,
Why would
gray
somebody
on
pick
a
gray
rainy
for...
day. You don't see it.
That guy would be
You've got
fired.
water in your eyes.
That guy would be fired. I would fire that guy, whoever said, hey, I want a gray bus. I would fire that guy. No,
And
you
I'm gonna drive it only when it's raining.
I can believe he might do some stuff like this. Man, being as how you brought up forks before, you know, you were bringing up forks. I think that's a little cultural, what's the word I'm thinking of? Cultural specific. I would like to open it up a little bit for my Asian friends.
For your Asians.
For my Asian friends that might be watching. I'd like to tell you the history of the chopstick if I could. That's their eating utensil. And chopsticks date back over 3,000 years. That's how intelligent they are. They knew 3,000 years ago it is not proper to eat with your fingers.
Not proper.
They knew
They
it.
knew it.
So they came up with this thing with 2 sticks. Man, it doesn't have to be much. It didn't have to be metal. But it worked. Yeah, man, over 3,000 years ago in ancient China. Initially, they were used for cooking, allowing people to reach into the boiling pots because that really became a hassle to reach in with your hands. You burn your hands, it would hurt, you know, so that became a hassle. So they said, this is not okay. This is not okay. And so they decided to come up with a couple of sticks, and this way it protected them from injury and stuff. And over time, these things became everyday eating utensils. And it spread to Korea, Japan, Vietnam, you know, and they all changed shapes and sizes, and they're different. So I guess you can tell by the size of somebody's chopsticks in their house.
Or the amount.
Or the amount, what kind of Asian they are. No, I'm trying, look, I don't have any Asian friends. I can't be that guy who says, look, my best friend's an Asian, and lie to you. He's not. I don't know. But I also don't know the difference between a Chinese guy. Well, I do know the difference between the Chinese. Chinese are different, but the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Philippines, I don't know the difference between. If you line 5 of these people up in front of me, I'm going to have to ask them specifically, what country are you from? And they're going to look at me and say, you is stupid. And I'm going to say, no, I is not. I want to be sure. I want to be sure.
I am trying to be polite.
I am being polite because I honestly don't know. You know, I mean, if for instance, looking at you, I would have to ask you, man, where are you from? Are you from America? Are you from Eastern Europe? Or are you from fucking Puerto Rico? I would have to ask to be polite.
I think that my accent might say something
It might give
about
it away,
my
right?
origins.
But okay, but you know, unfortunately, I can't tell the accent between the Koreans and the, you know, I just don't. I wish I could, but I don't have the familiarity.
Judge by the tonality of the way they speak.
I would
Because
say
Chinese
that would be
go and Korean goes like I
I don't mean to laugh, man. I'm not trying to be racist in any way. I'm just being serious, man. It's how do you tell the difference? How do you tell the difference? I honestly don't know.
I do make a difference between the languages when it
You
comes
do.
to Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, maybe not Vietnamese, but Chinese and Japanese. They sound different, so I could tell, but he might, that's the key word, he might be Japanese.
He might. Well, and joking aside, I really do think that I could probably tell the difference between Japanese and Chinese, or Korean and Chinese. I think I could tell the difference. I think I would know Chinese when I heard Chinese. You know, that's actually that's the first language, isn't it?
Mandarin, yes.
The most popular language in the world, I think, even
most
beating English.
spoken. language
The,
in the
the
world.
most spoken, yeah, not popular. Thank you for correcting me. The most spoken, actually, which surprises me when I know that because English I thought was everywhere, but I actually think it's the Mandarin Chinese that's
Yes, it's the
or
Mandarin.
Cantonese. I'm not sure which one it is. Mandarin,
I think it's
Mandarin,
Mandarin.
Mandarin. So I do think I'd be able to tell the difference when with the Chinese language, but I don't think between and Japanese maybe, but the other ones I just don't think I'd get it. Man, so that's this history with chopsticks. So anyway, I think they is very intelligent people for knowing about 2,980 years sooner than
It's
we
not proper
we
to
did.
eat with your
It's not
fingers.
proper to eat with your fingers. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. You could have told us a little sooner, though. I'm a little pissed off that they didn't let us know that a couple thousand years quicker. They could have looked over at us and said, hey, what are you, Neanderthals or something?
Yeah.
Use some sticks.
Use
Use some
something.
sticks.
Take a shovel or something, but just don't do it with your fingers.
Don't do it. I'm just saying. Man, what do you say? You got one or two more for
Yeah.
me? You got one?
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, do you know those tiny pockets that some jeans still have today?
Yeah, usually on the right side, I think.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
usually
it's
on the right side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Originally featured a tiny pocket. The jeans originally featured a tiny pocket, often called as a watch or a coin pocket. So that was basically to hold your watch because it was with the chain and the pocket watch.
Yeah. You see it on the Monopoly guy and stuff. He has that
exactly.
Monopoly. Yeah.
Exactly. And actually, Levi Strauss added it for miners and cowboys to store pocket watches securely so they won't lose them or break them because that way they're away from other objects. It's just the watch alone inside the pocket. Even though pocket watches are largely
Obsolete.
obsolete today.
yeah,
Man, I still have one. That's why I was shocked a little
I
bit
still-
when,
I still-
when
I have one
obsolete is
too.
not correct.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say obsolete, man. I'm sorry. My bad.
The
I
pocket.
thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were
No.
gonna say that. My bad.
The pocket remains a traditional design feature. Basically, I use it for my Zippo lighter.
Do you?
Yes.
It fits in there. It fits in there, right?
Yeah, it fits in there perfect. So
I have
this
a
way
I
it's
have a
not
Zippo lighter.
inside with my cigarette holders and they don't get scratched.
Isn't it a bitch to get out of there?
No, not for me, no. I just push it from down with the fingers.
No.
I don't reach inside the pocket. I just push.
Levi Strauss, man. So what you're trying to say that Levi Strauss was the first guy who put
No, he actually yes, he was the first guy to add it to the jeans for
Really?
miners and cowboys and stuff like that.
Well, I wonder if that's why they became so popular because of that little pocket. I wonder if that was one of the reasons why he became so popular, that brand.
Man.
Honestly.
I think the reason why they became so popular it was because of the quality of the jeans, and the people started using them not just as a fashion, to go out. They started actually using them for work because they were so durable and so resistant to scratches and stuff like that.
All right. Well, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you one more, and then we'll call it a day. Does that sound like a plan to you,
Yeah.
or are we good with
We
where
can
we're
do
at?
it.
We can do it.
If you
No.
brought it up, you might as well put it out there.
Well, I mean,
Just
we've covered all kinds of freaking utensils. You've covered the chopsticks. I've covered the chopsticks. You covered the fork. So I might as well cover the spoon too. You know, I mean, we cannot go the rest of the day without knowing
No.
the other half of our eating utensils. And you know, it was in the 17th century. Excuse me, I got a little distracted. There was something that ran by me. And I said, I don't know what that is, so it distracted me. You know, so in the 17th century Europe, spoons with a long handle were created. They were to reach into the tall glasses or the deep pots without burning hands. It's the same thing as the chopsticks. So to give you an idea of the time frame we're talking, chopsticks don't burn hands 3,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago. Long-handled spoons, wooden spoons, 1600s for us. We just figured it out in the last 400 years. 2,600 years it took us to figure out we were burning our fingers in the pots. Just telling you. And they got their form. Here's something that I always wondered, and this is true. They got their forms because of the standardized remaining, even because everything was standardized. The fork, when they made the fork, it was all like this, right? And it was, and they had to make it something like a drinking vessel because it had to scoop stuff up. We already had the fork. You couldn't scoop shit up with the scoop. Imagine the guy trying to eat the soup. He was like, this is a shitty ass design. That guy with the trying to eat soup. It didn't work. So he said it has to be in like a spoon, right? So he's doing like a spoon. He's doing his thing, but he made it too shallow, this guy. This guy who made the first spoon, he made it too shallow. Don't you agree?
Depends. Depends.
No, it really doesn't depend. It really, what spoon is deep in, other than a ladle, other than a soup ladle, that big round bowl thing, the soup. Other than that, what is big enough? It is not big enough, man. My wife kills me because I take every spoon in the house and I bend it so it's like this. You know what I mean? So it's like this.
I know exactly what you mean. I was shocked the first time I saw the spoon.
You saw it, right? But when you use it, tell me it's not so much better. You can reach in, you can eat your food. Now that little shallowness holds shit.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea. It's practical. I did use it. It's practical. But I gotta tell you, the first time I saw that spoon in your house, I took it and I made it straight again.
I know you did, and as soon as you left, I bent it again. When you left, I watched you do that, and as soon as you walked out, I looked at Aline and I said, the balls on him. The balls are straightening out my spoon to the way it was. I had to go back and unbend it. But that's really
I thought to myself, I actually believed I was doing you a favor.
Yes.
I
you thought that was by
that
accident?
it got bent while using it to do something. And I said, man, let me make it straight because it's not what it should be.
No, man, because, I'd like to eat when I'm eating cereal or something. You always get the milk droplets and the droplets of milk always coming out of your mouth. Well, that's nasty to me. Even in my own cereal, it's nasty to bring it in my droplets of milk. So I said, man, I bend the spoon and I come up and no more droplets of milk. No more missing my soup. I get my crackers, my soup, everything right there. They're still a little too shallow. They still need a little bit more of a cup, and I want to start my own. Hey, anybody out there would like to order a pair of spoons that I can't get it on, that look like this. I will make you custom spoons. I'm going to start my own spoon company. That's how passionate I feel about this with the spoons. Honest to God, I mean that. I mean that, Milo. I'm actually working up sweat thinking about the asshole that invented this shit with such a small thing, a straight spoon to drink stuff with. It doesn't even add up in my. Whew, I gotta. So anyway, right now I just want to finish with the long spoons. Basically, today they're only used for like teas, desserts, and for stirring and things like that. See. They're only used for that stuff. Nowhere in there is it said to eat soup or cereal. What do they do with them? People bend them. People bend them. So, man, that's about all the history I have for today, I think. I don't know about you.
That's about all I have as well. So
yeah, well,
I think we're okay with this episode.
With this episode, do you think so? Well, I'll tell you what, if you liked our history lesson today, and I think it was a pretty good history, I'd rather go through this history lesson than sit through my 9th grade history lesson again, which I failed 9 years in a row, by the way. My 9th grade history, I swear that when I was in...
failed it 9 years in a row?
9 years in a row, I failed world history, dude. It's not a lie. When I was in high school, I had class, I went all the way through to the 12th grade, except for my 9th grade world history class. That one stayed. I had to keep doing my 9th year world history all the way through high school. I did it. So, man, if you like this episode, hit the like, share, subscribe, and you know what? You got to smash it.
You got to smash that bell icon. This way you'll get notified every time we post a new video.
Anytime. Any and every time we post something, you are going to know about it, man. You're going to know about it. And especially if you turn your volume up. If you silence it and shit, you're not going to know. It doesn't matter if you smash all the stuff in the world. Man, my sun is going down. My light is going away. I'm turning orange. I'm like, I'm trying to stay in the light. Man, like, share, subscribe, help us out, show some support. We're here for you. Be there for us. We do live podcasts every Sunday, 6:30. 6:30 on Sundays, which is 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursdays, we do it at 8:30 in the evening, Romanian time. And that's 1:30 in the afternoon, American Standard Time. And you're an hour behind, Milo. So everything is just an hour down there for you. And come join us. We're very interactive in there. We have topics. We talk about them, but we also digress a lot, kind of like what we did a little today. A little bit. We have a very interactive chat. Wouldn't you say, brother?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if anybody doesn't believe us, they should just check one of our live sessions. It's still on YouTube. We digress a lot.
A lot. And don't be discouraged by the first couple of minutes, man. I mean, come on. That's
you could just jump 5 minutes. Just
jump a couple.
Don't even care about the 5 minutes. Just jump it.
When we first started getting going, there was a lot of times where like, you're live. Are we live? No, we're not live. Yes, we are live. So you might have a little bit of that, but it's worth the watch too. If you ever want to think about starting a podcast, that's what you could be in for. So, and that, in fact, that's one of the topics we have sitting out there on the YouTube is starting a podcast and what it's like. So please jump in our YouTube channel and be aware of the trials and tribulations. Jump in our YouTube channel. It's not okay because
it's really not okay.
It's really not okay. Then check us out. Peace. Hey, so long, farewell. It's never goodbye. See you next time.
Dă-i drumul la bas, își dă drumul la glas. E cel mai tare glas.